In this video, I'm going to give you your May deer checklist and everything that you need to do this month in the whitetail woods. So I'm really excited for this month. This month is when we're getting everything done, our planting, a lot of our switchgrass planting, sprayings, all of that stuff comes into play. And so we're going to just jump right into this and start with number 6, and we'll go up to number 1. But number 6 is spring scouting. And so spring scouting is really good. Summer scouting is not as good as spring scouting because it's still closer to the season prior. But spring scouting includes trail cameras and watching your bucks grow. And so I have a couple trail cameras out right now that I'm just running to see how big the bucks have been getting, and I'm going to run those throughout the summer just to see how much they're growing and how big they're getting. So that's a really good thing to do right now, is kind of the start of the growing season. Just watching those bucks grow and putting up trail cameras and just finding that sign so you can put those trail cameras up in the right spots so you can watch your bucks grow, and so that way you can have a chance at them this fall during the hunting season. So number 5 is tree plantings. And so tree plantings are really good right now. In May, I've already planted some cedar trees and some hybrid willow trees and some white oak trees from Coldstream Farms. And if you ever need any trees for habitat like that, go to Coldstream Farms. And so they have really good trees to do stuff just like this. But I planted red cedar trees from Coldstream Farms and hybrid willow trees from Coldstream Farms, and they're doing really good, and I can't wait to see how they grow. But any tree plantings for food plot screenings, bedding area screenings, thermal protection, anything like that, it's a great time to put those trees in the ground so you can have a good bedding area or a good screen this season and for this following seasons to come in the next few years, because you have to wait for those. Obviously, you have to wait for those trees to grow. But tree plantings are really good. Red cedar trees, hybrid willow trees, any conifer trees like that. And so now we get into a lot of the more fun stuff that I've got on here. But number 4 is sprayings, switchgrass sprayings, and food plot. And so if you're going to be planting, I want to plant most of my switchgrass in the middle of May. So I'm going to be putting down, probably it's a little too late for 2,4-D, but I'm definitely going to be putting down glyphosate on most of my switchgrass screens and bedding area spots, and I'm going to be using the glyphosate to kill the weeds, and then I'll talk about more of the planting part up here in number 1. But killing the weeds and then doing the same in the food plot. So the first week of May, I'm going to be spraying 2,4-D, and so that has a effect for 3 weeks. It's a pre-emergent, so I'm not going to be planting anything for 3 weeks. And then June, the first week of June, I'm going to be planting buckwheat, and I'm using the Jeff Sturgis no-till method. And so I'm going to be planting that buckwheat in the no-till method, and then I'm going to wait approximately 8 weeks, and then I'm going to crush it, and I'll get into a video about that goes into more detail. But that's a great thing. So make sure your food plot sprayings, you can even mix glyphosate and 2,4-D right now and spray them on there right now, because if you're doing the no-till method like I am, then you're going to have to put that 2,4-D in the ground at least this week, and so it doesn't have an effect for the 3 weeks, because you need to plant that. You have to plant that buckwheat in at least the first week of June. So that's fun. The spring's always fun to do. 4-wheeler's coming back this weekend, so can't wait to get that back from the shop and start using that. But number 3 is food plot liming. And so if you're buying lime bags and stuff like that, this is a great time to go do that. But also, if you've got plot start's a really good thing. I can put that on my food plot right now for the buckwheat, and then once I crush the buckwheat, I'll put it on my new seed. But plot start, plot boost, and plot till, using those this year, and they have really good products. So make sure you check out Deer Grow's products too. Then number 2 is buckwheat and buying seed. And so I kind of already mentioned the buckwheat process. 3 weeks until June. June 1st, I'm going to be planting the buckwheat, then waiting 8 weeks to smash it and put the seed down, or put the seed down first and then smash it. But making sure you're getting that buckwheat if you're doing the just no-till method, and then buying seed. So buying seed is critical right now. I bought my seed in winter because I wanted to make sure I could get that seed. If your switchgrass seed's going up, switchgrass seed is going out the window, so to speak, and there's a lot of it that's just people aren't even planting, and just making sure that you can get that seed right now so you can have it and before it's out of stock. So getting that seed, getting your food plot seed. I get my food plot seed early in the year to make sure that I have it. I plan everything out early in the year. I try to plan the whole year out of what I'm going to do, and so buying seed right now is really critical to make sure that you have a good food plot this season, and that way you're not stuck with some commercial bad product seed. So making sure that you're getting that seed, getting that buckwheat, and then I'm not sponsored by Deer Creek Seed, but I like to get a lot of my seed from Deer Creek Seed. I get my switchgrass there and my food plot seed there too. But Deer Creek Seed has a lot of good seed that you can do that for. And then number 1 is probably my favorite, and that is switchgrass planting. Switchgrass planting is really fun, and it's really fun to do. And with the 4-wheeler, going to be spraying glyphosate, like we talked about in number 4, going to be spraying glyphosate on there. Then I'm going to be planting in about, let's say, the middle of March or the middle of May. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different this year. And so it's always best to till the ground up for switchgrass, not necessarily the food plot, because switchgrass you only have to disc up once, and then it's good for a lifetime because that switchgrass seed grows. So I don't like to just spray and try to throw seed down. I like to actually spray and disc it up, unlike the food plot, because the food plot I would just be destroying the top layer of soil a bunch of times. But if we're doing the no-till method, we don't have to destroy that top layer of soil, and we'll still have great germination and growth. But for the switchgrass, I am going to disc up the spots that I want to plant switchgrass. And so we have the Groundhog Max. I'm getting that pretty soon, and they're sponsoring a video and sponsoring some of the videos, and I'm going to do a product review on that. But they're sending me one of their Groundhog Max ATV discs, and I'm going to be using that on the 4-wheeler so I can get into those really tight spots, and I can plant that switchgrass and even really tight food plots. If you have those, that Groundhog Max is a really good cheap alternative to get a disc into your food plot using your ATV. So that's really cool, and huge thanks to Groundhog Max for sending me one of those, and that should be coming pretty soon. So I'm really excited to use that for the switchgrass and make a video on that. But really, that Groundhog Max is really good for without a lot of stress on your 4-wheeler, and it does a really good job of tilling up the ground. And so going to be doing a review on that here soon in the future, and you can have a really good food plot or switchgrass planting area if you're using that ATV discs, that Groundhog Max. And so can't wait to start using that, and we're going to have a really good food plot this year, and we're going to have a really good switchgrass this year using that ATV Groundhog Max disc. So I hope this kind of helps you and what you should be doing in May. This is what I'm doing in May, but hopefully you've already got like food plots cleared out, and maybe you're doing a new food plot this year in a new location. That's not necessarily on here, but that's also a really good thing to do right now too, is getting rid of that all that debris, all those trees that you need cut down for putting in new food plots. But hopefully this helps you in what you're doing this season, and I can't wait to start showing you everything that I'm going to be doing, and just seeing how the switchgrass grows, food plots grow, and I can't wait to bring that to you this season. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and I just want to give a special shout out to all of my sponsors. First off, we have Coldstream Farms. It's a bare root tree nursery in Michigan, bare root tree and shrub nursery in Michigan. They got really good trees for habitat and just making sure that you have good quality trees for your bedding areas and food plots, screenings, any of those things. Go to coldstreamfarms.com to get those. They have really good quality trees, so you can do things just like that. Then our second sponsor is Deer Grow. Deer Grow's food plot solutions for lime. They have Plot Start, Plot Boost, and Plot Till, and so I'm really excited to use those this year on my food plot, and I know it does good. I've seen a lot of it work and personally, and they have really good stuff. So if you need lime for your food plots, instead of buying bags of lime like I have in the past, you just buy 2.5 gallons of Plot Start, and that'll be really good for your food plot this season. And that equals to 1 ton of lime per acre, that 2.5 gallons of Plot Start. It's a lot better to just spray it on your food plot than it is to get tons of bags of lime and spread it on your food plot. So make sure you go check out Deer Grow's products. Got really good stuff for any of your food plot planning needs. And then our third sponsor is Groundhog Max ATV disc, and they have really good products. And their ATV disc, I'm getting it really soon, and I can't wait to use it on my food plot and my switchgrass planting areas. So if you need a compact disc that can get in and out of really secluded areas, go to groundhogmaxatvdiscs.com, and you can get one of those ATV discs for yourself. And they're really good for putting in food plots and switchgrass areas, like I said, and just doing all of that without having to bring big heavy equipment in.